That brings us to our fourth question. And I believe we are back to Tom. All right, Tom, estimates of the number of illegal, undocumented immigrants living in the United States today range from 10.5 million to 12 million, or approximately 3.2% to 3.6% of our U.S. population. What, if any, specific steps will you take to curb illegal immigration and/or reform current U.S. immigration policies?
I've already kind of hit on this. I think that you know, the low skilled labor. There's a low skilled labor draw in the United States that draws illegal immigrants across the border, right? They basically come here, they make money here, they send money home. They use that money then to get on trains, to get on, you know, to pay coyotes to bring them to the border and bring more illegal immigrants in. I think those estimates are low. I think I've seen estimates as high as 30 million illegal immigrants in the United States. We absolutely have to get immigration reform. The reason we have an illegal immigration problem is because of changes in technology as well. It's easier to travel. It's easier to transfer money. It's easier for people to communicate. It's easier for people to navigate. Okay, so it's become easier for people to travel to the U.S. southern border, to get across the border and get into the United States. That's why every day that goes by, we've got a bigger and bigger illegal immigration problem in the United States. So if you won't give me immigration reform to disincentivize people from coming here, then you have no choice but to build a wall. And that wall, it's not a physical wall. It's a physical wall in every place that is feasible. It's an electronic wall. It's more infrastructure. It's more border guard, whatever is necessary to stop the flow of illegal immigrants into the country. You know, I know there's some criticism out there about, you know, we need to just load all these immigrants on buses and we need to ship them home. Okay, that's an impractical. That's impractical. It's just not a rational response to potentially 30 million illegal immigrants in the United States. It might feel good, but it's not a rational answer. Okay, we have to get immigration reform to disincentivize people from moving here illegally, because ultimately our feckless leadership of the past has essentially incentivized these people to move here and stay here illegally in sanctuary cities, and I want to do away with those as well. So we've got to have immigration reform. Without it, we must build a wall. That's it.
Okay. Lisa?
Right, Mark. So we need to curb illegal immigration by stopping the push towards socialism and this false promise that America is open for business and come here, come one, come all, like they advertise at the circus. Deportation is necessary, and we've got to make sure that people follow our rule of law and do it the right way. It takes so much honor and dignity from those who have chosen to follow the rule of law and the pathway for naturalization set forth in the 14th Amendment to our Constitution. You know, passing that civics test and being able to speak English okay, and you know, of course, having good moral character and being willing to swear that oath to the Constitution and to America are so important, and it takes so much dignity away from those individuals who've done it the right way to say, come one, come all. And there's a fairness to that. I stand by my original remarks that we need to reduce the number of foreign work visas, because there is an accountability problem with those who overstay their work visas, and then it becomes an enforcement issue. Speaking of enforcement, we need to absolutely support and empower our immigration and customs officials to go into communities and ferret out those who do have those deportation orders, to carry them out and not have law enforcement hands tied and preventing the work with these, you know, nonsensical sanctuary cities that the liberals want to suggest. No amnesty. Do it the right way. The rule of law still matters. There's a reason it's one of the 5 fundamental purposes of American government. And again, if we stop making America look so attractive and inviting without making sure people are well informed of the right process to follow, then we're going to continue to have folks who are sneaking in and doing so illegally, and again, taking American jobs and taking dignity away from the naturalized citizens who are every bit as much a patriotic American as you or I.
Thank you, Elisa. Daniel?
Well, you know, the number one purpose of immigration in the United States should be to serve America's interests, serve America and her interests, and that's it. Not any other country, not any bleeding heart nonsense, but to serve America's interests. And what that means is this. It means the first thing, not the last thing that we need to do, not the, oh, in case I don't get this, then I'll get a wall. No, we need to build a doggone wall. That is to say, we need to secure our border first. Everything else is subsequent to that decision. Do we enforce our border or not? Because a country without a border is a location, not a nation, and we are supposed to be a nation. So, number one, secure the border. Number two, this has changed a little bit over the last months because it needs to be metered according to our own economic position in our country. But we do need high skilled workers for rare industries, high skilled workers for specific jobs that can't be filled otherwise. Great, we need those high skilled workers with no country caps. By the way, the idea of restricting, you know, by country is ridiculous. Instead, we should restrict by skill and not by country. So high skill immigration is still important. Low skill immigration is less important now than it was a few months ago, because right now we have 33 million Americans out of work. We need to make sure they get jobs first. But ultimately, we're going to go back to a full employment economy. And in a 3% or 4% unemployment economy, there's an appetite for low skill workers. And number four, we need to make it so that if you are legally serving in the U.S. Armed Forces as a citizen of another country, when you get your honorable discharge paperwork, you get your full citizenship on the same day. Honorable discharge equals full citizenship. Now, the idea that we would have a quote unquote pathway to citizenship is just, it's a dream for some people. It's a dream for those on the left and their allies. The fact is that people who've come the right way don't deserve to have others cut in front of them, and that's what a pathway to citizenship would do. And my opinion on this is something that has earned me the endorsement of the Asian American Coalition, because they see the exact same problem, and others.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Okay, Elisa, we're back to you now.